country to be all over the Caribbean island.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music for your listening pleasure.
And you don't know what Junex I represent for Linkage Radio. 104.5 FM. I def them.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Near the Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Hey, what are you doing Saturday, July 8th? Set sail with us on the Midnight Boat Ride featuring RGE Entertainment with DJ Ricky Genius and Force One Sound. We set sail at midnight from Brooklyn Army Terminal. Tickets are $75 each and there'll be a buffet and a cash bar on board. For more information, contact Deanna at 973-861-1816, Chris at 718-781-7074, or Wilbert at 917-697-3087. See you there.
This is Lady T, Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com. Thursday. Has anybody seen Thursday? I'm looking for Thursday. Have you seen Thursday? Could you tell Thursday I'm looking for her? Well. I'm just checking. Checking. Well. It's Thursday, everyone. And I'm back right here with you. Oh, Linkage Radio listeners, it's so good loving my listeners, and they love me back. You know that song? Yeah, it's so good loving my listeners, and somebody loves me back. Now, isn't this the best opening line you've ever heard? I am your producer and presenter, Lady D, Denise Gomez. The Jamaican lady with the last name in Espanol. Yeah. Straight from Jamaica. Welcome to another edition of Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Yes, I'd like to welcome you to the show this evening, 22 minutes after 6 o'clock. Welcome to the show. Spread the word. Inside the Zone is on with yours truly, Lady D, Denise Gomez. How are you, everyone? What have you been up to? Well, let me not say that, but I'm telling you, I'm just, Lord, all over the place. Boss. I feel so drained. I'm not gonna lie. But you know, I'm here this evening. There's no way I could have not been here unless I really can't come. You know, the times when I'm not here is because I'm either busy or I just can't make it. And today I felt like I would just, but I came. So it's one of my down evenings this evening. Yes, I have a lot going on, but I'm here with you. Welcome to Inside the Zone. Center stage of the platform where voices are heard and people connect. Inside the Zone is a culture-centric radio program that connects the Jamaican diaspora and international audiences globally. The show's content captures its people's social, cultural, and collective views on issues that affect their communities. Family, health, finance, education, immigration, housing, wealth management, life and health insurance, real estate, and food insecurity. On Monday, 5 p.m. to 7, and Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. Welcome, everyone. Inspirational Zone coming up in a few minutes. News Zone, a rebroadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. And we have Health Zone this evening. Facts, obesity, and its impact on the African American community with Kevin and Renee Clarke of Dical Health and Wellness out of Florida. Last month, they featured prostate. You remember that? Oh, it was such an interesting feature. So please spread the word obesity and its impact on the African American community with Kevin and Renee Clarke of Dical Health and Wellness. So much to do, so little time. 25 minutes after 6 o'clock. Don't forget the show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Once again, good evening to everyone. You've spent the time, found the time to be here with me. I mean, I could have not had you. You know, you could have said, sure, next week, y'all, Lady D, but you're here with me this evening. Welcome to the show. It's a blessing to be here with you. Vero, Pat, King Ryan, you've already jumped in literally in the room. So I'd like to say hi to everyone tuning in. And of course, you know, I'm going to be giving you my best program. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I'd like to say good evening to you. So welcome everybody. Welcome to you. Alrighty, so I'll be back to do it all over again for you. So stick and stay with me. I ain't going anywhere. I'll be back. Alrighty. Okay. Oh, all kind of things happening here this evening. Something is high. Alrighty, so I'm here, still here with you. I'm just making some adjustments here as I proceed, but something is a little weird. Something is a little weird with me this evening. So welcome. Oh.
Inspirational Zone right here on Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. Good evening, everybody. Good evening to you, you and you and you and you. Whatever you're doing this evening, we always have to kick off the show with blessings from above, no matter who you are, what you're doing. We just have to give praises. So I hope this morning you were able to do so. If you didn't get a chance, I hope you paused a while ago for this segment, Inspirational Zone, because, you know, that's what we do here on the show with yours truly, Lady D, Denise Gomez. Hello, everybody. Want to say hi to Mr. Hines and all of you who were tuning in, and I hope you're still sticking and staying with me here until 8 p.m. this evening. I'd like to say a very special hi to who is it again? I wanted to say I did not write it down, you know, and I'm not 12 anymore. But I'd like to say hi to everyone tuning in. I wanted to do a special shout out, but that just missed me. So good evening to you. Don't forget our telephone number is 914-600-4228. That is 914-600-4228. 6:31 p.m. It's now time for News Zone, delayed broadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, July 12, 2023. The Ministry of Health is reminding Jamaicans to take precaution against the excessive heat wave being experienced in the country and throughout the world. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton gave the urging in a statement to Parliament yesterday, as he advised that the heat wave was harmful and could potentially be fatal.
We are seeing record increases in temperatures, and so the public, and in particular the most vulnerable, include extreme ages, the young and the not so young, over 60s, persons with comorbidities, outdoor workers such as our farmers and construction workers are advised to take precautionary measures to reduce exposure to heat and to limit the serious effects it can have on the body.
Minister Tufton is advising that persons who work outdoors should manage their exposure and hydrate as much as possible with water. In addition, Dr. Tufton recommends that persons stay in shaded areas where possible, wear light-colored, loose-fitting clothing, and get adequate rest. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry is encouraging Jamaicans to observe the infection prevention and control protocols as the country sees a slight uptick in COVID-19 cases. Minister Christopher Tufton advises that even though the cases have increased, they remain relatively low and there is no need for alarm. He, however, stresses that vulnerable persons, such as the elderly and those with comorbid illnesses, are still at risk.
COVID is still very present in our population. This is not an attempt at alarming the population. We have seen an uptick in cases. In a sense, the comforting aspect of that is that we're not seeing any major uptick in deaths or even in hospitalization in our isolation wards, meaning severe cases.
The health minister is urging persons, especially vulnerable groups, to practice hand washing and sanitizing, the wearing of masks, and being consistent with coughing and sneezing etiquette, especially when in public spaces. Also, all eligible persons are advised to take the influenza and COVID-19 vaccines, which remain available. Minister Tufton reports that recorded data shows COVID-19 admissions are low generally, with less than 20% of isolation space occupied.
An average of 100 patients are recorded daily. This has been the case since January this year and includes both suspected and confirmed cases. The proportion of confirmed cases, however, has shown an increase over the last month from 12 confirmed cases on June 12th to 35 on July 10th. Of that number, 13 were moderately ill and 1 critically ill. There were no severely ill patients up to the point of this statement.
A total of 1,105 civilians who work on contracts will be regularized in permanent posts within the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. The move is in keeping with the government's commitment to reduce the number of contract workers within the public service. Minister of National Security and Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Horace Chang made the disclosure during a statement to the House of Representatives on Tuesday. Dr. Chang says these workers will now be able to access the benefits afforded to permanent government employees, such as basic health insurance and a pension upon retirement.
This marks a major and significant milestone in the practice of employing civilian workers to support non-policing function in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. These workers for several decades were employed on fixed-term contracts, which limited their access to critical health and pension benefits.
Dr. Chang told the House that an audit by the Office of the Services Commission for the period August 1, 2018 to April 30, 2021 found that the JCF had a civilian staff complement of approximately 1,900 persons. Close to 50% were employed on a contractual basis. The duties performed by the civilian staff include administrative roles in areas such as accounting, human resource management, medical services, information technology, sanitation, and janitorial services.
Their work is critical to the proper functioning of the organization and allows the trained servicemen and women to focus more fully on core policing functions that directly combat crime. The practice of sending these workers home after more than 30 years of service in many cases, which as a handshake will now end.
Jamaica's emergency fiber optic ring is 90% complete as work on the National Broadband Initiative saw significant advancement during the 2022-2023 fiscal year. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, provided the update at last Friday's sitting of the Senate. She said approximately 118 additional public educational institutions were connected via the fiber optic ring during the period.
Those connections required the installation of over 1,100 kilometers of fiber optic cable at a cost of almost $1 billion, Mr. President. And this year, the National Broadband Initiative has been allocated approximately $1.2 billion more to connect another 102 schools across 6 parishes.
Minister Johnson-Smith was speaking on the Public Procurement International Finance Cooperation Advisory Services National Broadband Network Project Order 2023. It was approved in the Senate on Friday. Meanwhile, Minister Smith adds that the government will be undertaking a massive upgrading of the microwave infrastructure to provide network resilience and redundancy. This will be to the tune of $565.5 million.
Redundancy, when we speak about optics and fiber optics and internet, is about ensuring that we have sufficiency, that we have more, that we have an alternate route for data packs to run when one goes down.
And finally, ground was broken recently for the second house to be built in Coley Mountain in northwest Manchester on the government's indigent housing program. It's expected that within a month's time, Leroy Dwyer will have access to his new one-bedroom studio unit. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says the construction is to cost $5.3 million.
I have no doubt that the technical team in the municipality will ensure that the construction is done on time and within the budget. So the next time I come back, I'll be coming back to hand you the keys to your brand new one-bedroom studio apartment.
Mr. McKenzie says 12 housing solutions are under construction in various parts of the island. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. The show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Narita Avenue in the Bronx. Hello, everybody. I hope you've been supporting my sponsor, Soji, over there at Cooler Runnings. I'm asking you, may I send you? Please stop by and support them. We're due another visit, right, King? We're due another visit to go over there, just sit and relax and enjoy, good company. That's what I'm talking about. Stay with me. Don't go anywhere.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
So as we know, each and every year I kick off pretty much like a big kick off of our Jamaica Festival Song Competition. And so this evening, I just want to give you a taste of what has been happening, just in case you are not in the know that, it's happening this year again. Yes, the Jamaica Festival Song Competition. And so I just want to share some of that with you this evening. Stick and stay with us. At 7 o'clock, we'll be having our Health Zone and more music. It's one of those Thursday evenings where it's just me and you. Hanging out together. How about that? You ready to hang out with me? I hope so.
We are expecting nothing but world-class entertainment from this talented set of artists. There are even some faces in this competition this year that I'm sure that you will recognize. As usual, we'll hear from our finalists twice tonight. First, they will perform a song of their choice, and then we'll hear them when they come back with their festival song entry. Our contestants have each been assigned a voting number, which we will bring up on the screen as often as we can during the performances, so that you, the voting public, will get a chance to vote for your favorite. Not only will we hear from the 11 finalists, though, we've got the man from August Town, Mr. Dwayne Stevenson, who will be our guest performer tonight. So, I think I've brought you fully up to speed, and the band is getting ready. The 11 finalists are backstage, and they too are ready, but we've got to earn or keep, and so we must take a short break. Much more when we return. This is the 2023 Jamaica Festival Song Presentation Show. All right, welcome back to the official presentation show for the 2023 Jamaica Festival Song Competition, and we are in fact live on TVJ. So, 11 talented finalists will grace the stage tonight twice. You will not only hear their entry, but you will also get a chance to hear their song of choice, plus other features on them throughout the night. Each finalist has been assigned a voting number, so once you see it pop up on the screen, you may start voting immediately and help your favorite on to victory. You can also vote using the free Reggae Jamaica mobile app. Now, first up is a man you may know from various television shows throughout the years. But the truth is, he's been on the music scene for quite some time. Let's take a look at a feature right now on Slash.
You don't know this is Slash, one of the competitors in this year's Festival Song Competition. Vote for my song, Best in the World, because Jamaica is by far, unequivocally, unadulteratedly, the best in the world. So make sure you put some dollars behind my song, put some votes behind my song, and when we get forward to the final result show, we don't shell it like it ain't never been shelled before, like Jamie Foxx said as Ray Charles. I'm gonna make it do what it do, baby. Slash, Best in the World. Salute.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to present him to you for the first time tonight. Please welcome Slash. Give him a round of applause.
Hey, love is a lovely thing, yes. Oh no, there ain't no question about it. Hey, ain't nothing but the truth, my honey. Oh, yes. How you feeling? Every time I hold you, said I get that funny feeling all over me. And every time I touch you, honey, oh, brings back those feelings and those memories. Make some noise, yes. Oh, every time I think of you, baby, said I realize the hurt, girl, that I put you through. But where there's love, there is an answer. And I believe there's an answer here for me and you. Come on, come on. Love is a lovely thing, yes, baby. Whoa, 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 whoa. And every time I feel my heart on fire, I only want to have your loving. 'Cause every time I feel that warm desire, all it takes is just one kiss from the girl I can't resist, and I just can't stop this burning inside. Oh, yes, love is a lovely thing, yes. Ain't nothing but the truth, my honey. I'm telling you, ladies, scream for me, come on. 'Cause every time I feel that warm desire, all it takes is just one kiss from the girl I can't resist, and I just can't stop this burning inside. Oh, yeah, every time, every time, every time, yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Love is a lovely thing, yes, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love my beautiful ladies. Oh, Slash. And vote for me, you know.
We had to butt up the audience, Slash. Please give him a round of applause, everybody. Great performance, Slash. And for those who are wondering, yes, he's the same one who was the comedian years ago. And also at one point he called himself Iceman. But tonight we call him Slash. Now, while he heads backstage to get ready for his festival song performance, I'd like for us now to learn a little bit more about our second finalist, who go by the name the Mento Tones.
This is the Mento Tones, and our song is Jamaica We Born and Grow. I would like you to vote for me, because this is the best that I hear. I'm Jamaica. So do it for us.
Together for the Mento Tones.
Yeah. Beautiful Jamaica, make we bring back the peace and love. We are a gifted people, given from up above. done the crime and violence, and let us live as one. To the world, them a watch we, for we are the champion. Hey, bring back the peace and love. Bring back the peace and love. Me say we living in a paradise land, so bring back the peace and love. Children are the future. Woman is our queen. Men should be protectors, the king and the love machine. Sport the youths and culture, elders education. Give thanks unto the Father for this our glorious land. Hey, bring back the peace and love. Bring back the peace and love. Me say we living in a paradise land, so bring back the peace and love. Only righteousness can exalt an whole nation. Put down the gun and the knife, show away the contention. Plant the food and citrus, enjoy this little island. Plant corn and cassava, banana, cocoa and yam. Hey, bring back the peace and love. Bring back the peace and love. Me say we living in a paradise land, so bring back the peace and love. Bring back the peace and love. Bring back the peace and love. Me say we living in a paradise land, so bring back the peace and love. Bring back the peace and love. Me say bring back the peace and love. Bring back the peace and love. Thank you.
I get the feeling that you enjoyed that performance. If so, please register your reaction with your applause for the Mento Tones. Give it up. Thank you, Mento Tones. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 more contestants to go, but we'll see them after the break. This is the 2023 Jamaica Festival Song Competition for our 61st year of independence, and we'll be right back.
Jamaica is a beautiful place. Our people have a beautiful spirit, but we are too aggressive, and the way we interact with our friends and neighbors, I genuinely believe that we have the capacity to deal with this problem of violence. But it's going to take all of us. It's going to take every organized group of Jamaicans that we fundamentally reject violence. Violence has no place in a modern society.
Here is a special parenting message brought to you by the National Family Planning Board, 5 Sylvan Avenue, Kingston 5. If you want your children to improve, let them overhear the nice things you say about them to others. That was a special parenting message brought to you by the National Family Planning Board, 5 Sylvan Avenue, Kingston 5.
It is now 6:54 p.m. and I'm just giving you some excerpts from the Jamaica Festival Song Competition 2023 that was held on July 6th.
I want to win this competition because I'm a huge fan of the concept of...
Coming up at 7 o'clock is Health
I
Zone.
want to perform a grand gala, so you can make it up. Seen, bless.
Choice, make some noise for Avante!
Ireland Records, Avante once again. In this year, the age of me, I beg you to rise. Keep your eyes on the prize now. Well, in this year, the age of me, I beg you to rise. Walk the way you want to and put your foolish pride aside. And when you're treading in a Babylon, no slippers like that, them a wolf here where she close and them a pray for your demise. In a this year day and age, me a beg you no fear rise. Walk for where you want and put your foolish pride aside. And when you're treading in a Babylon, no slippers like that, them a wolf here where she close and them a pray for your demise. Don't be a fool to the system. Take a risk or two. Work so you can earn. Success will not be given to you. And if you feel like things get tough, just call on God. His love is true. Nothing that a little bit of faith can do. Always be grateful. Giving thanks is key. If you open any door, if you bring you out of poverty. Try not to be a victim of complacency. Always be prepared to seize an opportunity. Cause in this day and age, me a beg you no fear rise. Walk for where you want and put your foolish pride aside. When you try dig in a Babylon, no slippers like a them a wolf here where she close and them a pray for your demise. In this day and age, me a beg you no fear rise. Walk for where you want and put your foolish pride aside. And when you try dig in a Babylon, you can't plant corn and expect to reap peas, and you can't farm fool. In a times like these, when every day I get to youth get brutalized by police, living at the ghetto, them style you as thief. Message to the children, education are the key. If you open any door, if you bring you out of poverty, try not to be a victim of complacency. Always be prepared to seize an opportunity. Cause in this year, day and age, me a beg you no fit. Walk for where you want and put the idiot by that. Treading in a Babylon, you try no slip her. Them a wolf here where she close and them a pray for you. Cause in this year, day and age, me a beg you no fear rise. Walk for where you want and put your foolish pride aside. And when you're treading in a Babylon,
Thank you, Avante. Come on, give him some more love. Let's hear the applause for Avante. All right, he'll come back later on and do his festival song entry. Now, at this point, we'd like to introduce to you a young man who says that he's smoking like a hot rod. Hot rod, ladies and gentlemen. First off, we'll look at a video presentation of him, and then he'll come out to do his song of choice. Check it out. Hot rod.
To everyone who know me, and who never did know me, Hot Rod say, more love. Vote for me. When the time comes, take out your phone. Hot Rod say so.
Welcome to the stage, Hot Rod.
Come on, yeah, it's you, I got to say, yeah, hey, baby girl, you love me, oh, baby, don't you know that I love you, come on, yeah, I say, girl, I got to say, girl, you love me, I'm a lonely boy, looking the love of my heart, you know, you and I'm talking to. I got to say, hey, baby girl, do you love me?
Good evening to you.
Good evening, Lady D. How are you?
Good evening, Doc. How are you?
We are good.
Good evening, Lady D.
Good evening to you, sir. It's good to have you both in the Health Zone segment. How is it down there? Nice and cool?
No, we're hot down here.
Nice and warm.
Because we are feeling it here in the 90s. So I'm like, I wonder what it's like for you.
Yes, it was in the low hundreds the other day.
Man, I know. I stepped
And we've been getting a lot of thunderstorms.
Okay. We could do with a little rain here now because I'm telling you today, you stand up long enough, you feel the heat and the humidity. When I was leaving, there was a slight wind. I said, oh, I had to stand up. I put out my hand. I said, blow, blow. It felt so good. Just getting a little wind. But it's so good to have you both back here with us. It was just last month. It's almost like a few days away that you were here on the program with me. And what an interesting topic that was with the testicular cancer. And people were really taken by it. I can tell you that because a lot of times, you know, things happen and we wonder why. But you were able to, you know, inform us and educate us. And this evening you're here to do just that. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's Kevin and Renee Clarke. They are the CEOs of Dyco Health and Wellness, and they're situated in, oh, come back here to me. And they're located in, oh dear Lord, my screen went. Help. Okay, so you're both situated in Florida. Remind us where exactly you're located.
We're located in Fort Lauderdale. The address is 2425 East Commercial Boulevard, Suite 202 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
All righty, great. So this evening, we are focusing on obesity and its impact on the African American community. Why did you think of this topic? Because it's so, you know, relatable and relevant.
Well, obesity is so prevalent, and it has actually gotten worse over the past 20 years. And I'm not going to throw out a few statistics for you guys so you could ponder on it. And before I even throw out the statistics on obesity, I'm going to throw out this little tidbit about myself and my lack of awareness about obesity. I remember one day I was at work. This was in my previous career working in a bank in Jamaica. And I was standing with a friend of mine. And I saw a young girl, no more than a preteen, no more than about 10, 11. And in my naivety at the time, I was looking at this young girl. She was overweight. And in my naivety, I said, look at this little girl. Look how she's so fat. And if I was her parent, I wouldn't feed her so much, you know. Would I make sure that she eat right? I wouldn't feed her. And my friend who was standing next to me said, Kevin, why would you say that? You know that it's more, it can be something else. You don't know if she has some disease process going on. You don't know if there's some other issue happening with her while she's overweight. It doesn't always have to be that she overeat, you know. It doesn't always have to be that the case. And I was like, that was the furthest thing from my mind to think that there could be any other reason besides overeating that could cause someone to be overweight, right? So I want us to bear that in mind that, hey, let's make ourselves a little bit more aware as we have this conversation today, because it's not just one thing that will contribute to someone gaining weight. It could be a myriad of factors, and we'll actually go through a little bit of that today.
All righty.
All right. So let me throw out some statistics for you to get things going. Right. Over the past 20 years, right, the prevalence of obesity has changed from the fact that one out of every 3 persons to actually 1 out of every 2. So 20 years ago, when you could look to your right and to your left and you could decide, okay, maybe one of these is between myself and the person to my right and to my left, only one of us will be obese. Right now, I could only look to my right, and if it's not them, then it's me. It's either them or me. It's 1 out of every 2 now, right? So it's a totally changed the trajectory of persons' lives. Another factor you could look at as well is that even when we're looking at children, and we could talk about children in Jamaica for this particular one, it has moved from, obesity in children has moved from 5% over the past 20 years to 11% of children who are considered obese. So that means that the number of children that you're looking at nowadays that are obese is more than double what it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Another number that you could also look at in terms of severe obesity now. So you're not just talking about someone who is a little bit overweight. You're talking about someone who is severely obese. It has moved from 1 in every 20 to 1 in every 10 persons. So that one you can also say has also doubled. And that is both in the US and also very, very similar numbers. When I was looking at statistics for the Caribbean and Jamaica in particular, the numbers are very, very similar. So you could say this is not only just a US issue or a Jamaica issue, it can be considered a global issue because as you look at it, the numbers globally, they are looking very, very, very similar. Right? So those are just some statistics for us to bear in mind. So that is telling us that this problem of obesity is actually a growing problem. And going back to Dykel's fundamental is just about us trying to get people aware of their health status, right? And we're going to talk about a little bit about the causes of obesity and things that we can do to help to mitigate those things, so we can combat those challenges that you might find. All right? Renee, you want to step in and say a little bit?
Yeah,
Thank you.
You know, as we're talking about obesity, I think we need to eat.
We're hardly hearing you, Renee. You have to come closer to your device.
Okay, can you hear me better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I'm saying as we're discussing obesity, we also need to sort of define what that looks like, right? So, you know, generally speaking, most persons are familiar with the BMI calculator. That's the body mass index. And this is where the height is divided by the weight. It does not take into consideration any other factors like your genetics, your bone or skeletal structure. So, you know, this is pretty much just height divided by weight. Now, for most persons, between a BMI 18 to 24, that is what is considered to be within normal range. Anything from 25 up to 29.9, that is considered to be overweight. But once you get to 30 and above, that is where you're having that definition of obesity. And as a matter of fact, between 30 and 34.9, you are classified as class 1. And then from 35 to 39.9, you're classified as class 2. And of course, anything over the BMI of 40, this is considered morbid obesity or class 3 obesity. Regardless if you are considered overweight or obesity class 1, 2, or 3, the goal that we want to talk about here tonight is just to bring the awareness that this places you at significant risk for certain comorbid conditions. So we're talking about the high cholesterol, the heart disease, the high blood pressure, the diabetes, and even some cancers are caused by obesity. All right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Health Zone with me, of course, from Dykel Health and Wellness, are Kevin and Renee Clarke. They are the CEO of Dykel Health and Wellness, and this evening, Facts, Obesity and its Impact on the African American Community. And Kevin started off by saying that, you know, it's not just about people who have weight on or who we consider fat. And now Renee is breaking down for us our body mass index and what is considered obesity. So somebody may look at me and say, oh, Lady D, you're slim and nice, but maybe if I go do a body mass index, granted I did one recently, I was okay. I wasn't considered obese, but then I became more aware because we had some, I had my physical done, and they did a routine of everything. And so it's at that point when they mentioned about body mass index. I've heard the term, never really paid much attention to it. And so he said, well, Miss Gomez, you fall within so and so. And so I said to him, oh, so if I were over this number, he said, right. So at that point, I'm like, okay, then, I eat a certain way and try to manage my weight, but it's not that I couldn't get there if I don't pay attention to the numbers. Wow. So thank you for sharing that. Now, persons who are listening, so those of you who are listening, and if you'd like to ask Renee and Kevin questions, that you're open to answering questions, aren't you, docs?
Yes.
Yes. So you can call in to 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. Now, if I'd like to just ask a question here, because there are people who will say to you that, sure, Lady D, me this eat anything, because something have to take me out.
That is a very common one, especially in our diaspora. I think that sometimes people have a fatalistic mentality. And, in their family, they just realize.
Come a little closer, Renee. Come a little closer. You've gone away from us. Yes.
So I'm saying some people realize that in their family, everybody is obese. So they don't make the effort to try to make those changes to prevent them from becoming obese and also from developing some of the comorbid conditions that we just discussed. Mm-hmm. While something can take us out, I truly believe in persons living and having quality of life. It shouldn't just be existing. Mm-hmm. And when you are managing chronic diseases such as obesity, hypertension, diabetes, and the works, you have no quality of life, especially when those diseases are not properly managed. I know persons right now who are funding diabetes in the tune of over $1,000 a month. Okay. And that is even on the low end for some persons. There are others who have to pay close to $2,000 a month just to keep their blood sugars in a normal range. Mm-hmm. Now, the way that I look at that, the global burden of disease for obesity, we know it's over 175 billion, okay? B as in boy, not right? Million. Mm-hmm. So this is a significant burden on, our finances in this country and in all the other countries of the world, because this is not just unique to us. Mm-hmm. So if one person gets up in a family and decides, you know what, yes, something has to take me out, but it shouldn't be these type of diseases where they change the trajectory of your life, mm-hmm. that would be the person that would change their family dynamic. Mm-hmm. And that's what Kevin and I are all about at this point in time. We have decided that the diseases that have plagued our individual families will not be the things that we want to pass on to our next generation to come. Mm-hmm. So we have worked very, very hard to try to create different programs even within Daikal Health and Wellness, and also for ourselves, even at home. Mm-hmm. And my mom, she fights me on the kitchen scale all the time because, we're measuring the protein and everything is caloric, mm-hmm. dense food, things that we really, really need to be eating, nutritional value. We're watching everything on the labels, and sometimes, because of course she's older, right. and she's just like, my goodness, we can't just live a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And yes. It is quite funny, but we want to preserve the longevity of her life and give her quality, and that's why we're making these changes at this point in time.
Yes. So if a person should come to their doctor or you, and they say, so doc, what can I ask you to help me with weight loss?
Yeah, so right now, Daikal Health and Wellness has one of the best weight loss programs out there. We actually are partnered with our new brand ambassador, Lady Tifa Brown from Jamaica. And she's on her journey that she's been sharing on a weekly basis. And within 7 weeks, she's down almost 20 pounds with our program.
Great.
So there are lots of things out there on the market. But what has come out maybe over the past 20 years have been a class of medication that were, these medications were initially dedicated to diabetic individuals and the management of diabetes. And then while they were doing the trials, they realized that those persons were actually losing more than 20% of their body weight while they were on this particular medication class. So they developed this medication to also include chronic conditions such as obesity. And the FDA actually gave approval for these medications. These are called glucagon-like peptides, or GLP-1s. Most persons will know the names Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, things like that. So Dykel Health and Wellness actually partners with local pharmacies here in Florida and California and in New York. And we are able to get, the compounded versions of these medications to help persons to mitigate this deadly disease in their lives. We put them on a proper dietary plan. It's a 12-week program at minimum. And most persons coming in their first 12 weeks, they're seeing at least 20 to 30 pounds of a weight loss. We have, frequent follow-ups, because I think, when people have to do something on their own and there's no real commitment, they can just willy-nilly. But when they hear Kevin's voice on the phone calling them and say, okay, how much water did you have today? How was your sleep? How is your stress level? How's your mental health? And what's the weight like? Because all of those are determinants of our physical health. Right? As Kevin mentioned earlier, it's not just a calories in, calories out situation. Otherwise, everybody would be doing it, right? We'd be all snatched with a Coca-Cola bottle shape. But it's not calories in, calories out only. There's so many other factors that impact our body weight. The stress levels, our cortisol levels. We're talking about genetic history. All of those things are big deals, right? So when you come to us, we are actually going to sit with you, have a consultation. We review your entire family history and your personal history and identify anything that could potentially be red flags. And we get some baseline labs, because Lady D, when we're treating persons with medications, we want to make sure, one, their liver is functioning in order to process medication, and their kidney function is also normal in order to excrete that medication, right? So we do labs, make sure people are healthy, generally speaking, and then in terms of managing obesity, sometimes we're also managing things like insulin resistance. We might be managing someone with diabetes, with other comorbid conditions. So you find yourself kind of working with them very closely in order to help them in a general sense.
Thank you for sharing that. All righty. We have a caller online. Good evening. Welcome to Health Zone.
Yes, Lady D.
Yes, good evening.
This is the one and only Diane. I have a question for
Go ahead.
For her.
Yes.
What's the risk? What's the risk of losing the weight too fast, like 20 pounds, and some of them losing it for 30 pounds in a month? What's the risk of losing too fast or too slow?
Exactly. So that's a very, very good question, and we get asked that.
Come a little closer, Renee.
When persons have a rapid weight loss, we run the risk of also losing not just the fat cells, but also muscle mass, right? So we always try to tell persons a good weight loss that is sustainable would be something closer to 1 to 2 pounds on a weekly basis. That would give you much, like a safer weight loss, give you much more longevity, something that you can maintain. When you lose weight rapidly, you tend to start to like, okay, I lost 50 pounds in 3 months, so let's just jump on top of that. And sometimes people revert to old habits. because they realize that they lost it that quickly. Now, persons who take their time and they're actually making lifestyle changes, not just losing weight, because there is a difference, right? Lifestyle changes that are being incorporated now, they can actually take you through not just the maintenance phase, but for long-term solutions. When you're losing weight rapidly, most of these persons are only doing it for maybe an event, fitting into a clothing, type that they'd like, something like that. It's not necessarily for the longevity of it. So that would be, my big thing to persons. Try not to lose it too fast. Take your time. It is a marathon and not a sprint.
Yeah, I was listening to you, man. It makes sense. It makes sense what you were saying, But that's the question that popped in my head, so I just decided to put it out.
Thank you so much, Diane, for calling.
Thank you.
Oh.
Okay. So I'm here listening.
Yes, thanks so much. Yes, Renee and Kevin, very good presentation so far, and we realize that, you both have a good sense of the topics that are, so impactful to people because, for one, I know that a lot of people just eat because they need to survive. And it's affordability as well. Sometimes they can't afford the good things that we need to really eat. So they just grab and eat the rice and they eat the yam and, all of those things, not to mention sweets and so on. And so before you know it, they see the pounds coming and they say, oh, me need to go walk. But life is so busy. They don't get around to doing no exercise, nothing. What do we do here?
So true. So true.
So, I had a section about talking about how to combat all those things that you mentioned as well just now.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first part about it is being self-aware and recognizing how things have changed for you personally from growing up until you get to the stage where you are currently. I can talk about myself and others that I have seen. For example, growing up, I would, have a bicycle that I would ride all the time growing up. And if I would go from my community to out to the main street in front, I would ride my bicycle or I would walk. Because obviously I didn't have a car to drive around so easily. But with growing up and becoming an adult and we have the comfort of life, instead of me walking that 10 minutes, I'm going to jump in my car now and I'm going to drive that same little short distance. So it's those little, being aware that the little things that we take for granted and become more comfortable with, your activity level has begun to decrease because life has gotten comfortable.
Yes.
I don't take that walk to the corner that I used to take the walk because I had to. I would just jump in my car and drive. I remember one day, and after I did it, I realized how ridiculous it was. My sister lives literally a block and a half from me, which the walking distance is maybe 5 minutes. Maybe 5 minutes. And I jumped in my car that day and drove around the block and a half to go to her. Middle of the day, like nothing doing. I didn't have a rush, but there was no reason to say, okay, I only have 2 minutes to go to her and come right back. No reason, but okay, it's comfortable for me. Jump in the car, drive, go around the corner, talk to her, did what I had to do, and then drive, come back. And then after I did that, I'm like, but wait, I could have actually walked around here. I didn't have to drive.
Right.
And it wasn't that far. But the comfort of life, we've gotten to the point where we do things because we've gotten so comfortable with it. We go somewhere to the supermarket, for example, and we want that parking spot right in the front because we don't want to bother to walk and so on and so forth. Not realizing that those things that we're trying not to do are the things that we have been doing our whole life growing up that was actually keeping us healthy and helping us to burn all these extra calories. Right? So we realize that as we age, our activity level begins to decrease. And it's not that we're doing it deliberately. It's just that we're having these comfort things come into our lives, making us more comfortable so the activity level decrease. We find a desk job So when you go to work now, you're sitting down for the 8 hours for the day. While when you were growing up and, you know, you go to school, you run up and down, or when you're out with your friends, you're walking through the mall and those things, and you're talking and you're having fun and whatever. So you're literally being much more active as you're growing up, and then by the time you become an adult, all those little things start to dwindle away.
Yes.
So it's being aware of those things. So your activity level, then your eating patterns as well, right? You have to pay attention to your portion controls. And I think I spoke about this the last time. I'm not sure. I've spoken about it so many different times with so many different people. It almost feels like a recording now. But your portion controls, when you go out to the restaurant or you go out to, I have this place in shopping center in Jamaica. I always remember Jamanda's. No promotion right now. I don't even know if they still exist.
Right.
But I used to go there for lunch, all right? And when they go there, they put the rice and peas in the box. And not only do they just put the rice and peas in the box, you know, they close the box and they shake it down. And then they open it again and put some more in there. And then they put the meat and everything. By the time I go for my lunch and I eat off all of that, I literally just had 3 or 4 portions of a meal instead of the one that I should have had.
Yes.
So the portions that we're having are way more than we should have if we really break it down. And those things are the things that we need to become aware of nowadays, and which is why we've incorporated something like a food scale so you can actually measure out. And the reason we have the length of program that we have, we don't like putting people on a 1-month program or a 4-week program. We prefer a long-term program because that helps you to develop the good habits and help to break the bad habits that you've had over all these years, right? A 12-week program and longer is allowing you that opportunity to switch out those bad habits for the good ones, so that when you look at a meal after 12 weeks, you're like, oh, this is too much for me. Even if you can't measure it out because you're at a restaurant or somewhere else, you can look at it and say, okay, this is 2 portions. I'm only going to have half of this now, and I'll box it up and I'll have the other half tomorrow or later on.
Well, Kevin, it's almost like it's almost like you read my episode today. So I ordered my lunch, and I asked them for steamed fish, bulgur, steamed veg, and a little bit for sweet, a little plantain. So when I went, they called and said I can come pick up my lunch. I am kidding you not. When I went and she handed me the bag, if I didn't hold the bag properly, I feel like the bag would have the bag with the box of food would have just dropped out my hand, because I'm like, what is in the box? It was so heavy. So anyway, I said thank you, and I left the restaurant. When I got to work and sat down, I opened it. I said, have mercy, Jesus. This is for 2 people.
Yeah.
So I just ate out a little bit because my stomach full. And said that you for tomorrow, since I'm off on Friday, I don't have to cook. And so I'm carrying it home now. I'm like, oh my gosh, the box nearly dropped if I didn't hold the bag properly. So I understand. And somebody now would have perhaps just, as we use the term, box that off.
Yeah, exactly. They would have had the entire thing. And there's days gone by, I have done that exact thing. I've just eaten the entire thing, not even recognizing how much it is for me in that one moment in time. I just know that if the food tastes good, it looks good, it smells good, and I am going to enjoy this meal down to the very last grain of rice.
Yeah.
So,
and, Lady D, what I recognize with our Jamaican population more than anybody else, if you want to disrespect a Jamaican, give them a little bit of food. Whether they are in a 5-star restaurant or is a 9-night keeping, and them come and them go and get some food, you better not give them a little bit of food. That plate, if it's rice, it needs to have some solid amount of rice. If it's meat, you make sure to every piece of meat upon that plate, right?
Yes.
And when you look at the plate, for the average person, you're like, yeah, man, what about food? And, it's an excitement. We it's our culture. But when you have become a little more educated about what this does to your body and how you need to just be eating for fuel, not necessarily for all this other fluff that we do, you realize, man, I'm eating 4,000 calories in one dege meal. When your caloric intake based on your body mass index, based on your total daily energy expenditure, based on your basal metabolic rate, all of those factors should only be maybe between 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
But you just sat and ate 4 dumplings, 3 pieces of yam, 2 pieces of pumpkin. You wanted the whole plantain, because you know plantain has to eat, right?
Yes.
Plantain it should be a part of the national dish, right? And you wanted 4 pieces of sweet plantain, and you want the big pieces. And how dare you serve my fried chicken and don't put some curry goat gravy on that, right? And then we get this big box of food or big plate of food, and like you said, you box it off real quick. But you don't realize that you have just consumed 2,500 calories for that one meal. You're sedentary, like Kevin said, you work a desk job. The only run you run is when the ice cream truck coming.
Yes.
Right? There is no other level of activity in your life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So then you realize that where is all this extra energy going? Where are all these extra calories going? They're getting stored. They're getting stored as fat. And especially abdominal obesity, abdominal fat. That's a big one.
Yes.
And I don't know this. Kevin mentioned some statistics earlier, but I want to say this. For women, if you measure your waist and the circumference of your waist is greater than 35, you have now increased your risk for heart disease, including a heart attack.
Could you repeat that, please?
It's 35. If you've measured your waist as a woman and your waist measures more than 35 inches, you have now increased your risk for heart disease, especially having a heart attack. And for men, it's 40 inches or greater. Now, when you look at the average person around you, like Kevin said, one in two now, right? You're looking at somebody else. Everybody's belly is hanging out there.
Yeah.
Nobody have that cute Coca-Cola bottle waist with a waist that is less than 35 for women or less than 40 for men. It's just become the natural thing for us, right? So it's a lifestyle that really needs to be modified. It's not a quick fix at all, but you have to be committed to the process and take the process one day at a time.
Yes.
Are you going to feel for something nice? Of course.
All the time.
All the time you feel for something nice. But you can't have a cheap life. You can have a cheap meal. But we cheated our lives so much. Some of us are 40 and 50 years old and we haven't really lived any quality of life because we've been diabetic since our 20s. We've had to poke our fingers more often than not. We've had to walk with our insulin more often than not. That is no quality of life to live. So what we're trying to do, encourage parents, start working on the children from very early. Cut out some of the things that you know. When you look at that ingredients list, there is no nutritional value at all. And then when you look in one serving, you have 50 grams of sugar, that is a problem. When you look and you have one serving has more than, a gram of salt, that is a problem, right?
Well, I hope that my audience, that they are listening, because, the last time when we spoke, I said that if we are not a healthy people, we can't have a healthy nation, we can't have a healthy nothing. We just going to be sick people and won't be able to operate effectively and to live our full potential, So I'm hoping that
Exactly. And
call just came
Sorry,
in.
I just wanted to add to what you were saying there, that by extension, even though this is not a direct portion of the conversation, is that by extension, if we're going to be a sick nation, remember that our healthcare system is already overwhelmed no matter where you are. In Jamaica, the U.S., everywhere you go, you realize people are complaining they can't get in to see their doctor, they can't get in to have this procedure done, they can't get in for an examination of this reason or the other. So the health system itself is overwhelmed. Our baby boomers are beginning to retire, so the health system will continue to be restricted and constrained because we don't have enough people working in it anymore. So you'll find that even the situation, if you are not healthy, is going to be a little bit more dire for you over time because you're not going to have the services readily available for you. So as we always say, prevention is better than cure.
Yes, let's
so
take a quick...
prevent yourself. Staying healthy is always going to be better for you.
Yes, thank you for that, Kevin. Let's take a quick call before we wrap up. Good evening. Welcome to Health Zone. Hello.
Lady D.
Yes, good evening.
Lady D.
Yes, I'm here.
Dolly here, Cork
Good evening.
City.
Good evening, Dolly.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm well.
Listening your program.
Thank
you. Pertaining to that lady that said Jamaican men don't want small amount of food. When I was living in London, we were going to Jamaica and we were on the British Airways, the double plane. And ma'am, you know, that time they used to serve food. And the big man, he never cared. I can a little bit of pickle this to Maggie the man. Just like that, you know, mommy. Just like that, the man opened out his mouth. People look at each other. He never cared. I can a little bit of pickle this to Maggie big man. Oh my goodness, Papi.
Yes.
So that's my little bit. I'll never forget that. That's my little bit.
Thank you, Dolly. Nice to hear you.
Bless you, Papi. Bless you. Bless you, ma'am. Bless you.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye. Alrighty. So, Kevin and Renee, your final closing comments right now.
So real quickly, I mean, we talked a lot about the eating habits and the activity level, but also there's additional thing that I wanted to add in that can be causes of obesity. And one of those big things is definitely medications, right? People who are taking steroids for respiratory issues, somebody who's asthmatic, and you know, asthma is something that can be a long-term issue for many. And we start off with kids as well. There's the smoke issue, the Sahara dust coming in and coming across the Caribbean now, and those things that are affecting asthmatics. So they'll end up being on steroids. So you end up that you have those people who are having challenges with obesity as well. And there's the things that we're talking about, activity levels, paying attention to your eating as well. Those things, once they're aware that the medications they're on can cause them to gain weight, then they should also be aware that they should try to do things to mitigate that weight gain, being a little bit more active if they can. Stuff like that, doing all those interventions that will help them to try to maintain somewhat or reduce the amount of weight gain.
Yes.
You've got steroids for the asthmatics, you've got people who are on antidepressants, and for the women, you've got women who are on contraceptives, right? And the contraceptives will cause them to gain a lot of weight, depending on the type of contraceptive that you're on. So most of these things, women are getting double whammied, just for being women and having the ability to give birth and give birth to the nation. You end up being on contraceptives, and that causes you just alone to be gaining weight. So that's to look out for you guys as well.
Yes, thank you.
And
Thank you.
Being proactive.
Absolutely. And I have my morning routine. I go out, I walk, run for an hour, and come back home, stretch, and then start my day. So there's a gentleman who has known me ever since I was younger in Jamaica, and now, it so happened that I see him every now and again. So one morning he saw me. So I stop and say, hey, knowing me, we chat a little bit. Then he said, mind you disappear, So me look at Mr. Disappear. Hey man, look like you lose too much. No, hi.
Wow.
he has never known me to be a person with weight on. And I've always managed to I'd have that kind of gene. I've always been this way. So when him said disappear, me say no, sir. But when people say certain things to you, you get very conscious. So when I got inside the house, I'm looking in at the mirror. I'm like, Denise, you disappear for true. Me a turn round, me a look, and spin round in the mirror kind of thing. And I'm like, no, because I know that when I went to the doctor, which was just a few weeks ago, my weight was okay, and they said not no dummy. Thank God they send me off with bill of health for every single test. Give God praise. So I'm like, Master, go sit down. Me not disappearing, nothing.
Right. And this might be a conversation for another day, but we got to be careful about the things that we say to each other, where those things are concerned.
Yes.
A lot of times when we're greeting each other, my gosh, you get fatty. That's a famous Jamaican greeting.
Yes.
Oh, you look good, you get nice and round.
Yes.
So it's like it's the way we say things as well, and what we're saying to individuals that you've got to be careful with that, or even with him saying to you that you're disappearing. It's messing with your mind to some extent, because it's like you go home and you look in the mirror and try to figure out
if me and
this is
Margo
real
away.
or not.
If me and Margo away.
Yeah. And then we also have different perceptions of what should be healthy and what is normal as well, because he's telling you that you're disappearing is almost a thing. Maybe you need to be looking a little bit bigger, and then that way you're probably looking healthy. But also each individual's perception of what looks healthy and what also looks normal. But a conversation for another
time. Thank you. Thank
cultural
you.
differences is quite interesting, though, Lady D. Like, for some rural areas in Jamaica, you want a champion girl. Right? You want a girl, big bottom and all these things, and the women are much bigger, and men enjoy that. There are some countries, in Africa as well, where this is celebrated. The bigger you are, the better. And so, you do have that type of cultural difference, and you really try to be culturally appropriate, but you still want to raise awareness. This thing is not good. The visceral fat, it can kill you. That abdominal obesity increases your risk for heart disease, heart attack. You are at risk once your body mass index says you are overweight or obese. It doesn't matter if you're 32 in your BMI or you're 42. The truth of the matter is you are at risk. How are you going to manage that risk? And that is what I want to leave with you guys today.
Yes, I appreciate both of you. Thank you for really spending the time to educate us this evening about obesity and its impact on African Americans. And believe you me, every day we hear something, see something, and it's not good. Yep. So I just want to say thanks to everybody for tuning in, and to Renee and Kevin. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'm hoping that Dicel, we'll hear about Dicel big, and of course I'll give you the opportunity to just share your contact information.
Oh, of course. So we are Dicel Health and Wellness, as you've heard all program. Our website is www.dicelwellness.com, which is D as in David, Y as in Yam, K as in Kevin, A as in Apple, which is the healthy part, L as in Larry, wellness.com. We're also on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Our phone number is 954-408-0125. That's 954-408-0125. We take phone calls, of course, text messages, and WhatsApp. If you're out of the country and you want to send us a message, you can actually send it to us through WhatsApp. We will get it, and we will respond to you right away. Mm-hmm. In terms of our services, we could actually see anyone across the U.S. and also internationally via telehealth. So right now, we've just expanded our licensing to New York, so we are welcoming all our New Yorkers now.
Great.
We are also
Congrats.
licensed here in Florida and in California. And we could see others in other states as well, depending on which state they are in.
Mm-hmm.
So call us, telehealth, book your appointments, and we'll be love to take care of you and share some of our knowledge in regards to health for you.
Well, congrats. Great job. Thank you so much. Another really energizing session here with you, Kevin and Renee Clarke of DICO Health and Wellness. Blessings. Hope we can do this
we
again.
Want to thank you so much for having us.
Yes, indeed. Thank you both.
Have a good night, Lady Z.
Have a good night to you too. All righty, so that's it for Help Zone. Oh my goodness, you're all listening though. You're listening? So all who think I'm disappearing, I'm not disappearing. But of course, we're wrapping up the show 7:45 p.m. Stay with me. Don't go anywhere. My name is Denise. Lady D. Gomez, you're tuned into Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Good evening to my caller. How are you?
I'm fine, I'm well, and you, thanks for asking.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, sir.
Good evening again. That gentleman that said that you don't understand the psychology of women and weight.
Yes.
See?
Mm-hmm.
So, you go home and you start looking in the mirror and you start to eat.
Right.
You see? Because this is how you keep saying, you look and you look and you look and you look. You're feeling it and you say, oh, I'm seeing it, yeah. But it's not seeing it. No.
Yes.
And I read comment.
I'm sorry. Repeat what you said.
And I said you don't when it comes to that issue, body weight and body image, don't say trouble mind.
Right.
Yes. You go home and you could really go home and look in the mirror and you're there and you're seeing it that you're seeing what you said. You know it's not so.
No, there you go.
And again, it's all relative. Yeah, it's all relative to the case, or subjective, because as your guest said, everybody has a different view of what side is right and what side is bad and blah blah blah. So
yes.
But she said something on that. She said something that me chuckle. It's not just in the world here in Jamaica. Man want champion woman.
I tell you. Oh boy. But anyway, it's quite informative, and we really need to pay attention to our bodies and take care of ourselves the best way we can.
I said because of that, you know very well that has always been my thank you.
Yes.
That people need to get to know their body and its function and get in touch. If your body is you and your body. Come on, that
relationship.
Yeah. People when you people do their car.
Same so.
But not the body, So, that's my thank you around. Get in touch and get to know about your body and get in touch with and know what's going on with your body.
Yes.
All right?
Thank you, DL. Appreciate it. Okay. Bye-bye. Alrighty. So, Health Zone. I tell you, we have to really pay attention to ourselves. And he's right. If the tire puncture, you run go get the money for put on but the tire. If something happened to the car, if it will need this and that, cosmetics, you get it done. But hey, to go to a doctor, you may so make the appointment, man, and all. No, we can't make it. Somebody says so, because somebody has me as their accountability partner. So every now and again, I'm checking in, and she said, "Oh, she no make it yet." I'm like, "Make the appointment. You need to make the appointment." So, sometimes we are a little lax in that regard. But what can I say? Anyhow, this is how I'm just going to share a little bit more of the festival song competition. What you heard, usually when they have these stagings, they give them the opportunity to sing a song that they like and stuff, and then after that they sing the actual festival song. So I'm tracking here to see if this is one of them. But of course, we're closing out the show. It's a good day. It's Thursday. Thank you for tuning in with me.
To you. So please put your hands together and welcome with a rousing round of applause the man from Augustown, Dwayne Stevenson.
Hey, that's all nice again. Me the pandians, Lord. Jolly up sound system string out. Them your kind of groove you we talking about. Oh Lord, we just a play the music. Selector play that song. Play reggae music all night long. No one no time for no gun in the west. Watch a smile upon the people's face when you play that song. Play reggae music all night long. I make we rock so, a robot dub so. You make we dip so sweet, no calypso day. Long time we await on this. Fear some sweet roots music I play with a royal twist. Just want the queens that move them ways. Not tell we sister for bleach our face. No bad vibes around we, are just good vibes in the place. When you play that song, play reggae music all night long. Don't want no time for no gun in the waist. Watch a smile upon the people's face when you play that song. Play reggae music all night long. I make we rock so, a robot dub so. You make we dip so sweet, no calypso day. Time to play a Buju Banton song. Black skin or brown, in need of the dance. Watch everyone I get along. Freddie McGregor and the big ship sailing. Bob Marley and Peter still wailing. Oh, you rise still awake the town and King Sound, you away the crown. When you play that song, play reggae music all night long. Don't want no time for no gun in the waist. Watch a smile upon the people's face when you play that song. Play reggae music all night long. I make we rock so, a robot dub so. You make we dip so. Oh, when the bassline rumbles, 96 degrees in the jungle. Oh, man, feel it to the heart and soul. Yes, as we live by your words. Oh, we will live with your words. Righteous music and take control. When you play that song, play reggae music all night long.
Good evening. Welcome to Center Stage.
Good evening, Lady D.
Good evening, ma'am.
You give me a 69.
Wow.
You look at me as doing something different from.
Yes. Oh, Lord, Hortense, guess what? Is Grace carrying me here this evening, Seriously. I feel like I'm just sailing, but I'm telling you, I almost couldn't come this evening. But anyway, so I couldn't get to put my catechism together. Oh God. I wasn't able to put my catechism together, but I'm no joke. Aye. Anyhow, So forgive me. But you know, when you come, you know, so we learn the art of just learning how to make adjustments where necessary and not to speak too much into it. But the fact that you corner me, we just have to tell you that my catechism was not put together.
Next Thursday then.
God willing, Lord, because I had shifted to a second Thursday. But you know, if I can do it next week, then by all means, we'll see how it goes. Okay, but good to hear you. Oh Lord, so you just draw me out. Okay.
All right. May I listen you, man? May I listen? You think me not listen?
Oh Jesus, I can't laugh this evening. So good to hear you. You make me laugh. So enjoy your weekend. All right, mind your heart.
Okay.
Okay. Blessings.
Right.
Bye bye. Oi. Forgive me for laughing so much, ladies and gentlemen, but when I have a laugh, I have a good one. Oh, Lord. Winding down 4 minutes to 8 o'clock. I'm still at the Jamaica Festival Song Competition 2023 held on July 6. You have to bring your little something. So even though I didn't get to put my catechism together, we still have a show, right? Because you all know me, I'm the lady with the program. I work with my outline, you know. Dwayne Stevenson still can sing, man.
Brother smoking J, and some they're shifting, some getting high, oh licking on the curly pie, some get high on dollar cents a million day, but I go west towards sunset at the Rickaway, but from a little cottage in the green, baby. Oh, I wrote these lines to you, baby. And from that little cottage way down in the green.
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Lady D.
Good evening to you.
This is Fam.
Huh?
Yeah. This is Fam.
Oh,
yeah,
hey.
I wanna ask you. They don't have the soca kind of mental kind of festival song no more?
Well, you know, I think
because it shifted, man. From number 1 to number 3, it didn't even sound like they were.
Again, I just mentioned that what they do usually when they have the competitions, they let them do a bit of entertainment set before, so they sing anything they want. And then after that, they come back again and do the actual entries.
Oh.
Right, so you're not really hearing it. When I come on Monday, I have another set to play. And then you'll actually hear the songs. So that officially on Monday, I kick off my road to festival. Because I have that every year. And so I'll play all the songs so you all become familiar with this year's, entries into the competition. So bear with me.
Yeah, man, and I'm gonna come to the summer festival. What you call it?
Oh, Fun in the Sun. Yes, please. You don't want to miss that this year.
I'm not missing that.
No, miss it. Walk with your arm.
Your
Walk with your
chair.
chair. You heard me. Walk with your chair.
You walk with your chair.
Walk with your chair. Don't come in on no high heel
Look
shoes.
for me little $12 chair and say the little one they look good.
There you go. So looking forward. Yeah, you know when you come, you just come look for me.
Of course, you know I'm gonna.
So we can just say howdy to one another.
All right. But I want to
Blessings.
know about the festival thing, but you clear it up for me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
All right.
Have a nice day.
Blessings to you. Okay, bye-bye.
I'm an aya. The one ya nine not just
Wanna remember that song, yeah?
do Jenny and her sister. I miss her
all night till daylight.
I miss her
all night till daylight. Sure.
Sister Jenny.
Well, you know, me not go there till all night. Me come go on up, galang up now before them find me and chase me home. But I had a good evening, even though I didn't put the catechism together. Oy, but God willing, I'll be back on Monday to do the Monday drive. And so I'm looking forward to having you join me again. To my YouTubers, thank you. To those who are tuned in on CaribbeanVibesRadio.com, thank you. Touch FM Radio 90.1 in the Bronx, thank you. And of course to the CEO here at Linkage Radio, DJ Linkage, Dexter Blake, thank you for having me here at this station. I appreciate you. And I'm gonna go home now. Go sleep. Me mash up. But anyway, looking forward to being back. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. And please remember to eat right. Don't be no obese person. Manage your body mass index. You know, measure up. And you heard what she said, though. If women's waistlines gone
Before they
up.
find me and chase me home. But I had a good evening.
Hello?
So I didn't put the catechism.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
It's Shanette.
My dear heart from yard, how it going? Lord.
I'm good.
Shirts.
I'm good.
Yes, oh shirts. So nice to hear
Just
you. What
saying
you say?
hi.
I appreciate it. Any cool breeze blowing?
Yes, you know.
Oh. Okay.
I get in the cool breeze off the sea.
Yes, yes. You're too show off,
Yeah,
whatever.
So it's nice.
Mhm.
Well. If I could bottle it and just blow it your way or save it and send you a package, I would. Believe me.
I know. Oh, Sharon, so good to hear you. Nice.
Yeah.
To hear, lovey.
All right.
Thank you for spending the few minutes to hear me up.
Sure. Yeah. All right.
Thank you, love. Okay.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, that's my girl, Sherns. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap now and head home. But as you heard, this coming August 5 will be Fun in the Sun. And so I'm inviting everybody to come out and enjoy that event with us, because I'm guaranteeing you that you will have the time of your life. Believe me. The 10th staging of the 12th District Community Engagement Fun in the Sun Festival is back and uplifting the Bronx in a new location at the home of Astor Little League Baseball Field, 2701 Bruner Avenue, on Saturday, August 5 from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Bring the entire family and enjoy the experience. Fun-filled activities for the children, free food and clothing distribution, financial empowerment, home ownership, health and mental health seminars. Spread the word. Live entertainment by Minister O'Dane Roden and the worship experience. Pastor Donnie McLaughlin, Minister Kevin Heath from Jamaica, Joshua Martinez and the Red Letters, Praise Express Worship Ministry, and DJ Skerritt Boy belting his latest tunes. This event is sponsored by Glory Music, Good Neighbors Community Outreach Agency, Bishop Paul Pitt, Senior Pastor of New Testament Temple Church of God, DYCD, New York City Council, Kevin Riley, Council Member,
Astor 12th District, State Senator Jamal T. Bailey, 36th Senate District, Assembly Member Carl E. Hasty, Assembly District 83, BNHS, Astor Baseball League, United Way, Corey's Eats, Gun Hill Mufflers, Victoria Mutual Building Society, and Choose Healthy Life. So join us at the home of Astor Little League Baseball Field at 2701 Bruner Avenue on Saturday, August 5 from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call 914-304-2592 or 917-374-8580 for details. It's free.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Near the Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Hey, what are you doing Saturday, July 8th? Set sail with us on the Midnight Boat Ride featuring RGE Entertainment with DJ Ricky Genius and Force One Sound. We set sail at midnight from Brooklyn Army Terminal. Tickets are $75 each and there will be a buffet and a cash bar on board. For more information, contact Dion at 973-861-1816, Chris at 718-781-7074, or Wilbert at 917-697-3087. See you there.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music.
New York.